Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on, well, here where I am, it's snowing on this snowy spring day. Wouldn't you know it, it's my son's Little League first day of baseball. And so, of course, we are going to have snow. Thanks so much for joining us. We are going to cover HomeSnap. I know a few of you sat in on the previous HomeSnap class, and I apologize. There were some issues getting into HomeSnap. There was something not turned on the HomeSnap side, and so hopefully all of those issues have been resolved. But my job is basically to take you through. I'm going to kind of do, normally we ask you to download the app ahead of time. So I'm going to ask you to take this moment. Now, I want to be very clear. The reason we generally don't download the app in the class, let me tell you why. It's not just to be difficult. It's because we obviously will not know your Apple password, or if you're using an Android device, your Google Play password. Everything else I'm going to help you with today, but I'm going to give you 1 minute while I go grab a coffee. I just finished my last class. I'm going to give you 1 minute to go into, if you are on an Android device, and there are instructions that should be appearing on your screen. If you are on an iPhone, you are going to simply go to your App Store. So go onto your iPhone screen, find your App Store. Usually looks like a little blue button with a little A in it for App Store. You're going to click on App Store and you're going to type in HomeSnap. If you are on an Android device, they're going to look pretty similar. But if you're on an Android device, you're going to go to the Google Play Store. Now, the only thing is I will not know your phone device's password, obviously. So just kind of to reiterate, I will not know your App Store password. I will not know your Google Play password. I will be able to help you with the rest, but I'm going to give you just a minute to go in. Again, if you're an iPhone user, you're going to look for the App Store on your phone. You're going to click on it, and in your search bar, you're going to type in HomeSnap. You're going to find that icon, and you're going to download it onto your phone. If you are an Android user, again, you are going to go to your Google Play Store. You're going to do the exact same process. You're going to find HomeSnap, and you're going to start to download it. From there, I'll be able to help you. But I do want to point out that obviously the only person who's going to know your app password is going to be you. So that one I won't be able to help you with. But if you can get there and you can find it and you click download, then I'll be able to walk you through the rest today. So I'm going to walk you through all of it from beginning to end. I have to be honest, this is one of my favorite products, and I've put a lot of my own personal time and sweat into it to add some improvements that we actually got HomeSnap to make for us that are exclusive to us. What that means, you can't get them through any other MLS right now. There's some innovations that we asked for as agents that I've wanted for years. So if you're just joining us, first and foremost, my name is Colleen DeLange. I am an instructor for my REALTORS. I actually teach all over the state at different MLSs and associations. The reason that I teach a lot of the classes is I'm also a practicing agent. That means I'm really using HomeSnap out in the field. I've been a licensed realtor now for 22 years. God, that makes me feel very old when I say that every single time. So when I use this product, some of the things that are extremely important to me are that if I am showing a buyer a property and we happen to be walking around the basement, and over here by me in St. Clair Shores, there is a lot of homes that were affected by flooding. I know you guys had some unfortunate flooding last year as well, but let's say that you are in a basement and you're talking to your buyer, and your buyer says to you, hey, Colleen, got some water evidence over here on the baseboards. What is that from? Well, I kind of would like to know, is it just a sub pump that backed up? I mean, did they have flooding? Was there a flooding issue? Used to be, I'd say, well, you know what, let me go back to my office and let me print off those disclosures. Or some of the people are even more organized than me. They'd have like 20 disclosures with them for all their showings, which I did not do. The idea now, though, is if I'm showing that property and I'm using HomeSnap, I can actually pull up those disclosures. I can not only pull up those disclosures, but I can actually share them with the buyer standing next to me. Now with COVID, we're doing that social distancing, so I don't really want the buyer huddled around my phone going, oh yeah, I see that, right? Breathing all over you. The idea is I can actually hit the share button, share it right to his phone, and he can actually see it while we're standing in the property. If you're on this call today and you're thinking, you know what, I just got this offer, we're going to take it. wouldn't it be nice to be on your phone, be able to click a button and mark it pending so you're not getting more showings than you want to have? So there are some great advantages. I'm also going to show you where you can actually literally walk the property lines. I'm going to show you a real quick video on that because obviously my house is not listed, thankfully. My house is not listed, and I am obviously not able to walk property lines with you standing next to you. So I'm going to show you a real quick video on how that works as well. So there are some things in HomeSnap that I have not found in any other app and I know everybody's got like 19 apps these days. I feel like I have more apps. I had to create an app folder on my phone. No, literally, I had to create an app real estate folder on my phone. It was so ridiculous. I hate fumbling around when I have a buyer behind me and I'm trying to, find the app that I need for this particular thing. So I got so fed up and frustrated that I said, you know what, I'm just going to create a real estate folder on my phone. So when I go to show a house and I need to schedule an appointment, I can use either HomeSnap or Showing Time. There's more coming on that, but I don't want to give away too many secrets all at once. So again, if you're just joining us, what I'm going to ask you to do is take just a moment. And I'm going to ask you to give me a little bit of feedback here. I don't want this to be all one-sided. I just don't want to keep talking at you. I want you to ask me your questions because my goal is to, when you leave here, I want you to feel like you actually know this product because this is your mobile MLS product. I can pull up MLS searches on my phone in HomeSnap. I can pull up my MLS contacts. So we're showing you right now, and I know that you're going through a lot of change. You've come over from Realty Server, you're now learning a new MLS platform, and now we're throwing another product at you, right? A mobile product. But I promise if you take the time to learn this, you will see some true benefits. It really is your mobile MLS. That's how I want you to think of it. It's Paragon in your hand. So when you want to do the things you can do in Paragon, you can do those right inside of HomeSnap. So there's a lot of cool things we're going to cover today. But what I would like is I want to know that everybody today was able to go in and at least try. If you don't know your Apple password or you don't know your Google password, I get that. But just if you could let me know in the questions box that yes, you've got the app downloaded, then we can go ahead and proceed. I want to make sure that when you leave here, you've got that app downloaded. All right. So in your go-to webinar panel, by the way, it should be minimized on the right-hand side of your screen at this point. In your go-to webinar panel, what you will notice is you will see a questions box. That questions box is going to allow you to ask questions throughout the demonstration today. So please do not feel like, oh my gosh, I have to hold all my questions to the end. If we are literally going through that step and you have a question, type it in right then. Then I don't have to go back a few screens. We can handle it right then. So if you have any questions today, I want you to feel free to put them in the questions box that's located in your go-to webinar panel. And then we'll go ahead and I'll periodically check those so that we can go through that question at that particular screen. So what you see on your screen, there's going to be two things. In your handouts panel, there are a bunch of handouts. One is setting up HomeSnap as a brand new user. So I'm just going to open that real quick. This is how to go in and how to download it step by step. There's also, if you have downloaded the public version, I'm going to cover what I mean by that in just a second. There are two versions of HomeSnap. There is a public version of HomeSnap, and that is what you can invite your clients to use. That public version is where it's branded to you. They can get all the information on listings, but they only see you. I do not want to give my clients something that when they're pulling up in front of Joe Schmageggi's listing, they're calling Joe Schmageggi, right? I want them to call me. So I'm going to recommend that you use the HomeSnap app with your clients, but there is a public-facing version for them. Then there is the agent side or the agent version. So that's really important. And why? Because you get confidential information that they're not going to get. So what you see right now on your screen is Basically what I've already told you. Go in. If you're an iPhone user, you need to go to the App Store, download the app. If you are a Google Play, if you're using an Android, you have to go to Google Play, download the app. That part I can't help you with. I don't know your Google password, and I certainly don't know your App Store password. The rest I'm going to help you. We're going to walk through. So once you've got that downloaded, I'm going to ask you to just kind of put in the questions box that, yep, got it downloaded, ready to move on. Because what we're going to do is anybody who had problems on the last call actually downloading the app, I'm going to walk you through those next steps now. Okay, a lot of people saying, got it, got it. Is it the same app? Yes, the app is the same. Okay, very, very good question. Thank you very much, Cheryl, for asking your question. Is the app itself the same, whether you're using an iPhone or whether you're using an Android device? The app will be the same. Sometimes the icons may look a little bit larger or a little bit smaller. You may see them laid out slightly different in a couple of the screens I'm going to take you through, but I promise you it's almost identical. The only difference is obviously if you're an iPhone user, you have to go to the App Store to download it. And then if you're an Android user, you have to go to Google Play. Yes, the app is the same. Now I'm going to tell you, I have got a lot of my buyers to stop using Zillow. You know, there's a lot of controversy about Zillow. I'm not going to get into that because, you know, it gets everybody off down a rabbit hole, so we won't go there. But what I can tell you is I've gotten a lot of my clients to stop using Zillow and start using HomeSnap and the Collab Center, and here's why. So many times your clients will call you and they will say, Colleen, you didn't send me this house for 123 Main Street right down the road. Now, I asked you to send me all the ranches that were for sale. And why are they asking me that? They saw it on Zillow. Well, unfortunately, they all think that Zillow is the Bible. It's the you know, truth, right? The problem with Zillow is it is a feed. And when an agent goes in and they send you those cool little messages when you put something in the MLS, Zillow will send you out, congratulations on your new listing, just click here to claim it. Well, what unfortunately you're doing when you click there to claim it is you are giving Zillow the rights to use your photos and your comments and your information. Unfortunately, I did that early on, and I, to this day, have a for sale by owner that is listed on Zillow that is using my photos and my comments that I wrote for when I had the property listed. Because what happens is when you put information into the MLS, we have secured an agreement with Zillow that says the information is yours. You and your broker, you own that information. You own the photos, you own the remarks, you own the information. And that also means that the information has to be updated. If I mark something pending in the MLS, within just a few moments, it's pending in Zillow. Now, if I go in and I claim it and I break that connection and I mark it pending in the MLS, guess what? Never shows pending on Zillow. So when your clients, so the long end to my story is when your clients are seeing these houses that they say are active and you research them and they've actually closed 60 days ago, you know you're using the trusted information in the MLS. But of course, your clients think, oh, Zillow's the trusted information. So when I give them this app, I explain Zillow is a feed. A lot of that information is outdated. HomeSnap is the actual MLS data updated within 15 minutes. And what that means is when you see something pending in Zillow, it may not actually be pending. It may have already closed. When you see something pending in HomeSnap, or in Paragon, it's the actual true MLS database. So that means that your clients are not seeing outdated information. And a lot of times I'll tell them right up front, you know, oh, I see you're searching on Zillow. Oh, well, that's good. But do you know a lot of those homes have actually already closed and they're just trying to get you to work with them. So use what I use as an agent. Let me set you up with the MLS. Then I set them up with HomeSnap and the Collab Center, and it's the true, accurate, up-to-the-minute information. And it only takes usually a few examples for them to see something that closed, you know, 60 days ago, and they're like, oh yeah, I better use Colleen's app because that's the actual MLS information. So it's a good way to get some of those people off of Zillow and onto using your app. All right, so I'm seeing a lot of people have it. Thank you for the people who used the questions box and actually filled in that they have it. All right, so how do I go from here to the next steps? Well, right on your screen next to the HomeSnap app, what you're going to be seeing here, and I'm just going to shrink this box down so I can actually see what you're seeing. You're going to see that once you've done that, it's going to ask you a couple of questions because it wants to set the app up right. Are you public? Are you an agent? Should you get the whole enchilada or should you just get that public view? We're trying to figure out who you are downloading this app. First thing it's going to ask you is, do you want to enable your location services? And the answer is yes. It wants to know where you are. That's why that map moves with you. If you're getting ready to show something, you can schedule an appointment right from the doorstep because it's going to know where you are. There's some cool things. Also, if you do not enable your location services, you will not be able to walk those property lines in real time, and I promise you, you're going to want to do that. All right, the next step is step 3. Are you the public or are you a real estate agent? I wish it said realtor, but it says real estate agent. So you are a real estate agent. You're going to click that, and then you're going to pick the MLS. Talking to a lot of people this week, and it is confusing. Do I pick my real source? Do I pick Clare Gladwin? We want you to pick Clare Gladwin. Clare Gladwin is going to give you all the Clare Gladwin information now. It's giving you all of your information currently. It is going to give you the information for all the data feeds that you're now getting through Paragon. We've expanded. You're not just seeing that little Clare Gladwin information anymore. You're now seeing a lot more listings. And I don't know about you, but in this market, I am all in favor for seeing more listings. I need more listings to sell for sure. I think we all feel that way at this point. So you're going to pick Clare Gladwin. And then, of course, our very next step, and I'm going to turn off my fuzzy hair so you can actually see that a little bit better. The next step is entering your MLS identity. And what they're really asking you for is either enter your name. I find personally the best way to do this is put your email address. Now, caveat, it's the email address you have that we registered you in Paragon. So it's what your board has as your email address. It's your Paragon email address. If you put that in, and make sure you don't have any spaces, when you're entering in your email address, it will almost always pop your information right up. So you want to enter your email address, and what it's trying to do is it's basically trying to find you, and it's trying to say, okay, yep, you're an active member with Clare Gladwin. We found your email address in here. We're ready to set you up. Then it will ask you to verify your contact method. It wants, just like any other account that you're setting up, any other app will always send you as a security policy. We want to make sure you're not, somebody else. It will send you as a security policy a code. It's usually a 4 or 5 digit code, and it will say, please enter that code so we know it's really you. That's really your phone number. That's really your email address. So you want to verify which way you want to be contacted for that code. Once that code comes in, you're going to insert it right into the HomeSnap. Then it's going to allow you to finish creating your account. The last thing it will force you, and I apologize, some people don't love this, it will force you to put something in as your photo. If you don't have photos on your phone, I talked to a very, very nice lady yesterday. She didn't have her photos on her phone. She had them on her desktop at home, and that's fine. This will work on your desktop, so you can add them in that way, but you will be required to add, some people just like to use their logo, and that's fine too, but it wants to know, it wants to have a profile set up for you. It wants to know that you are an agent, that your profile is set up so you can start inviting people in, and so people know who you are when they're sending this app out on your behalf. Okay, the last step is the most important step. In order to know that you've done this successfully, you have to see Pro in the bottom of your HomeSnap account. If you see mine right over here on the left side of your screen, at the bottom you see it says News, Messages, Home, Pro Agents. That's what you're looking for. If it does not say Pro, that means you're not getting all the bells and whistles that you're entitled to. And then lastly, you'll see the me. So please, if you're taking a look, if you've downloaded the app and you're rolling ahead, that's fantastic. Just make sure you've got that pro agent. It's really, really important because this is the exclusive part that you don't get through any other MLS. Okay. All right, well, I think that's the good stuff. Now let's go ahead. Just to recap really quick, because I know there was a lot of problems downloading the app, and I apologize. I know Lisa felt really bad, and unfortunately, it wasn't her fault. It wasn't our fault. It was just actually something not turned on properly in HomeSnap. So we apologize, but now you should be able to get in. Just to recap, you're going to download the app. You're going to enable the location services. You are going to say you're a real estate agent. You are going to pick Clare Gladwin. You are going to put your email address in. It's going to ask you, how can we verify it's really you? You're going to verify that contact information, insert your code, and your account is now created. Just make sure the final step is, once you're in the app, that you've got Pro. Okay? Okay. You know what, Carrie, that's a great question. There is a way that you can actually, if you are members of multiple MLSs, so some people are members of more than one MLS, that's not a problem. You can be members of both. I have to remember how, because I am a member of 2 MLSs as well. If you are a member of 2 MLSs, I think it's up under update information. Trying to remember where trying to remember where I changed it. Was it under my pro? Give me one sec. There's a way to say that you are a member of more than one MLS. So Carrie, great question. I thought it was under me, but I am not seeing it. It might be under my profile settings. I'm sorry, it is under my profile settings. If you go to me, so if you are under your me tab, you will see manage MLS identities. Okay, so for Carrie, if you are under the me tab, you will see manage MLS identities. As you can see, I have 4 different MLSs. I do some testing for different MLSs too. And you're going to go ahead and you're going to hit that plus, and then you're going to pick which MLS you also belong to. Okay, so again, if you are a member of more than one MLS, you're going to go to the me tab, manage MLS identities, and you can add that additional MLS in. It's a pretty user-friendly app, but Carrie, I will reach out to you directly after just to make sure that you were able to get in. Carrie's been a huge help, by the way, in writing some of the early information. We can't thank you enough for all your help in this conversion process too. All right, so let's get to the fun stuff now. I gave you the basics. Hopefully everybody was able to download that. I'm going to give you tech support information afterward if you were not, but I really want to get into the program and start talking about some of the fun stuff within here. Before I completely switch over to my phone though, I do want to show you, because again, I'm not at an actual property. It's a little bit harder to teach on an app when you're not at an actual listed property. So I do kind of want to show you one thing before I leave, and that is the actual walking of property lines. So what I mean by that is when you are at a property and your buyer says to you, well, Colleen, can you tell me where our property goes to? I remember early on when I got my license, I would say, well, I think it goes to, we take these what I call educated guesses, right? And so there is a way to actually pull your phone out of your pocket when you are at a property, and you can actually walk the property line there. So I'm going to kind of show it to you on my PC, because videos come through a little bit better on here. And I can make them a little bit louder. It's always kind of a problem when you're doing a webinar, trying to get it loud enough for everybody to see. So what I'm talking about is the augmented reality that HomeSnap actually offers. And move this video down a little bit. And again, what it does is it allows you to walk the property lines in real time. So I'm going to show you this just real quick video before we jump. Everything else we're going to do right live. We're going to do it in the app, but because I'm not at an actual listed property, I'm just going to take you through a little tour of how it works. So pretend for just a moment that you walk up to a listed property and your buyer does just that. And I'm going to use Carrie as our example. So we're going to say for a moment, Carrie's showing her buyer, maybe it's even new construction, and the buyer says, well, Carrie, I'm just wondering, where does my property line go to? In the past, we've used those educated guesses, but now what HomeSnap actually does is use augmented reality. So if you can see on your screen, it will, by allowing location services, which I walked you through, you can see it's now allowing me to walk the property line using my phone's camera and creating arrows where the property lines start and stop. Now, this is not a survey. Please let your buyers know this is not a survey. It's not intended for that purpose. It's just allowing you to get a quick bird's eye view of where the property lines should be according to the municipalities, okay? So again, it's not a survey. I always tell my clients that ahead, but if you are looking for a way, if you are showing a property and you want to walk them through those property lines, this is a really, really helpful way of just kind of walking them through. Let me see if I can go back to that original video. So again, to walk the property lines, it's going to ask you to take your phone out of your pocket. It's going to ask you to make sure your location services are on. It's going to use the GPS on your phone to literally walk the property lines in real time. So I love that. Again, it's not designed to be a survey of any kind. It's really just designed to sort of give your buyer some comfort in knowing, yeah, the property line's right around here. All right, so the rest we're going to do live today. I like to see the real thing as an agent. I want to see how it really works. I want to see, is it fast? Is it easy? And so the rest we're really going to do live right in the HomeSnap app. All right. Okay, so the first thing that I was a little confused on when I logged into HomeSnap, I looked at it and I said, okay, well, how's the map work? Because it doesn't seem to be working where I am. So basically what it does is it opens to your last searched area. So it caches, it kind of says, okay, where did you last search? We think you might want to search there again. So what I need to do in order for it to find exactly where I am at this moment is I want to click into the map. As soon as you click into the map section, it's going to open up that map full view. Now, the second thing is, okay, I last searched over here, but I'm not there right now. So I want to click on the near me. The near me is now going to move me to my actual address. So it's moving me to where I'm actually located. A lot of people say, well, I need a compass because it seems to be broken. It's actually not. It's designed that way. So if you're searching in a particular area quite often, it opens automatically to that area. So just click that near me, that little compass button, and it's now going to relocate you. Now, one of the things my clients really like about this app, and again, I'm a huge fan of giving your clients this app. I don't want them in the driveway calling the number on the sign, right? I want them to get all the information they need with my face and my phone number attached to it. So if I'm using the HomeSnap app, just like my clients can do, they can click on the draw button, that little fingertip button, and they can use their finger. Remember how I said I try to get my clients to get off Zillow and to start using this? This is one of the things they liked, right? The using your fingertip to be able to search. They can do that. They can also save their search. You can save your search. I could go in and I could say that this is my Kim Hetju search. And I can go in and I can actually save that so I can keep searching that particular area. You could also remove a search. So if I wanted to remove that outline, I can do that very easily too. So now let's say that I found a particular listing that I'm interested in. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click on that listing and it's going to pop it right open for me. Once I go ahead and click into the listing, I'm going to start being able to see the basics. You can see if there is a virtual tour that will show up right here at the top. If I want to quickly see all the photos on the property, I just click photos and it will open it in a nice gallery view that they can simply swipe through. So nice and easy. If they want to know what the commute time is, I have a client right now that does not want to live more than 20 minutes away from work. They can actually go in and actually put a work address in or another address in to find out on every listing how far away it would be from where they want to commute from. A lot of people don't want to commute in a way that would take them 20 minutes outside of a freeway. You could actually find an address right on the freeway and use that. So really easy ways for your clients to see what their commute time would be. There's obviously a street view, which we're going to cover, and then a map view too. But let's talk about some of the pro advantages. Now, I'm going to tell you that some of the cool things about this is if you are within 200 feet of the property, and I apologize, I'm not within 200 feet of a listed property, so I can't show you this, but I'm going to kind of tell you what it does. It has a safety timer that will show up. So the first thing you'll see is a safety timer. And actually, let me see, maybe I can find, let me see just quickly, there was a new listing that actually popped up in my neighborhood. Let's see if I can find it real quick just to show you. Yeah, let me try this. See if I'm close enough to it too. Okay, yes, right here. Thank God. Sometimes there are miracles. All right. So if you are close, if you are within 200 feet of the property, you can click on your safety timer. Now, what you want to do is you want to add an emergency contact. So it will use your phone contacts. You can quickly add someone in. Maybe it's a husband, maybe it's, whoever it happens to be. I'm going to click on my safety contact and I'm going to say that I've never met this buyer before. So I'm going to go show this house. This house happens to be new construction, so it's vacant. There's nobody there. And I'm going to say I just don't feel totally comfortable. I'm going to go ahead and start my safety timer. I'm going to say within 20 minutes, I don't know this person. If in 20 minutes I don't turn my safety timer off, it's going to notify my emergency contact. Now, maybe I'm walking through the house. I feel somewhat comfortable. Maybe I just need to add another 10 minutes because I'm just kind of on the fence. Maybe I know I'm really in trouble. I can go ahead and send an immediate distress alert that I'm in trouble. So you can actually use that safety timer. I'm actually going to turn that off so that Debbie on our staff doesn't think that something happened to me. But the idea is that safety timer will let you know that, oh my gosh, someone is in trouble. It will immediately text to them to give them where you are. And the nice thing is it doesn't just tell them you're in trouble, it tells them where you are at that moment. So I love the safety timer in these crazy days, especially in Michigan when it gets dark so quickly, especially in those long Michigan winters. It's nice to just be able to click that distress alert, and it does not notify the police, just to be clear, it notifies your emergency contact with your location. As I scroll down, it's going to give me the property basics. So again, I see all the photos, virtual tours, map, commute time, all of that is right in the app. I'm going to go back to that really great one we were just looking at for just a moment, just to keep everybody on the same page here. I think it was Woodside. It was such a pretty listing. We'll use that one. The other one's new construction, so not as much to see. You can't see the cool virtual tours and things. So, all right, so I'm going to go back to our pretty Woodside property here. I'm going to open it up. And again, if I was within 200 feet, I would see that safety timer right here. I could go ahead and schedule an appointment. This just basically takes me to the Showing Time app for this particular property. It's also going to give you things like rapid CMAs. Now, I do not recommend the rapid CMA for a CMA. What I do like is if you're standing in someone's kitchen and your buyer says, you know what, yeah, I think I'm going to write an offer. Colleen, do you think houses around here are going for $250? Do you think that's a reasonable offer? That's really what this tool is designed for, because it takes the information from the home. It's not really designed to be a full-on CMA, and it allows you to choose if you want to pick a couple comps, a couple solds, and a couple actives. And basically what it does is it kind of creates a real quick rapid CMA that you could look at and say, yeah, You know what? They're running between 250 and 270. But the idea is you can do that very quickly on your phone, because I don't know about you, there's such a low amount of inventory right now that I want to be able to write in the property. I want to be able to literally write the offer while I'm standing there. And so the nice thing about this is I can kind of do a real quick comp review right from my phone, and it does that immediate area. I think it does 3 miles. But obviously you can hone it in and out just like a traditional CMA. Now, if I want to share this listing, as I start scrolling through, you're going to notice here at the bottom, we've got messaging, favoriting, and sharing. So let's say I wanted to share this with Kim, who's on our call, or maybe I want to share this with Mary on our call. I can go ahead and simply message it or email it and simply start typing in Kim, and I'm going to be able to send it right to her from my phone. So really easy ways to send it out to your contacts. You can airdrop it if they're standing next to you. You could message it. You could send it via email. You can do all of that right from your phone. Now, another cool thing here is I can see the agent who has it listed along with the history. Now, there are some things, of course, you're going to see as an agent, and there are something that the clients are going to see. As you can see, the agent area always has a pro. So the agent alone is going to see the showing time, the net sheet calculator, the rapid CMA, the sell speed. That's what an agent's going to see. Now, obviously, the information like how long it was on the market, that's what a consumer is going to see. So it's going to show you pro next to anything that only an agent would see, which, by the way, they can get a lot of that from Zillow and these other places too. But this is one feature that I really like. If you just walked up to Janelle's listing here, and let's say you got there, you're opening the lockbox, and oh, geez, there's no keys. Well, I obviously want to reach right out to Janelle. I got my buyers right behind me, right? So I'm going to click on Janelle's information. Now, the neat thing here is this will give you the rosters for all of the data sharing partners, meaning all of the agents. So even if it's, I know you have some crossover with Bay, and you have some crossover with some other MLSs. So you can actually go in and you can click on this and you'll see their information too. So if I want to quickly message Janelle here that there are no keys in her lockbox, I can go ahead and send an app message, or I can send her a text. I would recommend text just in case they don't have the app. But I want to send this right out to Janelle and let her know, oh, geez, there are no keys in your lockbox. Now, the next feature I'm going to show you is here. Some people love it and some people hate it. And so don't kill the fuzzy-haired blonde messenger. I'm just showing you all the details. If you have a recruiter in your office, they're probably going to love this tool. If you've only done one deal and you're brand new to real estate, you're probably not going to love this deal. So I'm just going to caveat that first. If I scroll down, now I can see where Janelle works, and of course I can see all her office information. So if I want to call her or maybe find someone on her team, I can see agents within her office. I can see the office contact information. By the way, you should be able to see all the agents in your office as well. But if I scroll down a little further, let's say that I know I'm going to write an offer on Janelle's listing. I can favorite her so that all of her information is there. As soon as I get back to the office and I'm ready to write my offer, it pops right up in my favorites. Of course, I could add her to my address book, which I always do. So when I run into them at the Christmas party, I can say, oh yeah, Janelle, we did that deal on 123 Main Street. So I always recommend adding to your phone's address book. But here's where it gets to that love-hate part. I can very clearly see how many deals Janelle is doing by simply scrolling down. What I mean by that is I can for sure tell you that she, in the last 2 years, has closed 3 buy sides. Because in order to get credit for a buy side in the MLS, it actually has to be typed in when it's closed what the name was. So I know for sure she sold 3 buy sides, and I can even scroll down and I can see what those 3 buy sides were. I can go in, I can open them up, I can see the property addresses, the price, the whole enchilada. Well, but not all listings sell, right? So I can also see that she has completed, or that she has listed 46 listings, but not all of them sell. So if I scroll down a little bit, I can go into the Analyze the Listing side, and I can see she has 37 actively for sale. She has 4 under contract, 5 sold, and nothing off market. So kind of gives you a good idea of the production of an agent. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not a recruiter and I could care less about that side of it. But what I do like is if I get an offer, and let's say the other day I had this happen. I got an offer to purchase. I got no seller's disclosure, no lead-based paint, no pre-approval, no agency. I got nothing. I got an offer to purchase. So this either tells me that I'm working with an extremely lazy agent, or most probably I'm working with somebody brand new, right? If I go down and I quickly see they've done no deals, okay, now I know I'm going to carry most of that side of the transaction because this agent's probably learning, right? So it's a good way to kind of gauge that as well. How many deals are they doing? How's this deal going to go? And now with so many multiple offers, sometimes that's kind of nice to know. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to hit back. So just remember that you as the agent see that, the public they're not seeing that. But if I need to get a hold of Janelle, let her know that there's no keys in the lockbox, it's great to be able to immediately get her information. All right, scrolling down, we're going to have the information from the MLS. And if we get to the bottom, you can see exactly who's going to see that. This MLS information is going to have the agent information. The agent can see it, the client can see it, and consumers can see it. So everybody's going to see that. But the part that's exclusive to you, the agent, is going to, again, have that pro on it. So I can see when it went active, the information, what the compensation and cooperation is going to be. As I scroll down, I can see more and more of that detail. I can also see any commute times that I've put in, and I can even see information about the schools. So if I want to, again, go in and check out the Lee Elementary School, I can click on it, I can open it, I can see more information about that school. I'm going to click on Lee. And you can see it's going to open it up. It's going to give it a rating, going to talk a little bit about that school, the teacher-student ratio, things like that. Okay, and then any commute times. If you're standing at that property, remember, this is how you're going to see those property lines that I just showed you. So that little video that I just showed you a few minutes ago that show you how to walk the property line, well, you're going to do open map, and it's going to walk you through those steps. You're going to see it in augmented reality, just like you saw in the video. And then down below, you'll also see more similar listings. Okay, so that is how you're going to open up that information. So just to recap what we did so far, we clicked into the map. We are on the home section at the bottom, clicked into the map. If you wanted to draw a search area, you would go to that little fingertip. You would draw your search. You can save your search or remove it. When you're ready to go in and start looking at properties, you're literally going to click into the property. You'll see vacant land, you'll see for sale, but what if you only want to see 3-bedroom homes? Great question. Now you're going to go in, you're going to filter. If I go into the filtering section, this is where I can say, oh, nope, I'm looking for rentals. Oh, nope, I'm looking for homes that are for sale. Oh, wait, I'm looking for 3 bedrooms. I'm looking for 4 bedrooms. So you can actually do your MLS searches right from the palm of your hand. Okay. Oh, looks like we have a question. Let me pop over to the questions box here. Okay. Oh, Joey, thank you. Helping out with the MLS identities. Yep, if you're belonging to more than one MLS, again, you will find that under the Me tab. I set mine up so long ago, I had to actually think about it. Is the Pro version a member benefit, or do we have to purchase this? No, the Pro version is a member benefit. There's nothing for you to purchase, nothing additional. You're going to get all the pieces I'm talking about, the seller's disclosures. You're going to get the editing of listings. Cheryl says, I went to Lee. Oh my gosh, see, it is such a small world. I actually live right over by Lee, so you probably were a neighbor of mine at one point. So very small world. Okay. All right, so let's talk about more ways to search. So great questions, thank you, keep them coming. Up in this search parameter, up at this top box, let's talk about this. So we talked about searching by map. You click into the map. You can do commutes. You can do drawing the property lines. Remember, when you're ready to move into the area you're sitting at or standing at, you want to click that little compass. That's going to move you into the right area. If you want to add layers, remember, you can click on that layers button. Maybe you want to add schools to your map. You want to see where Cheryl and I went to school. We can go ahead and add that layer. Now we can see, okay, where is Lee Elementary? Where is the Richmond Community School? So you can actually click right into that map and you can see those layers. If you want to remove a layer, pretty simple. You just go back to layers and click on it. You want to see the more satellite map. Maybe you want to be able to zoom in and see, is it backing up to the Stony Creek Park over here? You can zoom in and zoom out. You're going to do all of that right under the layer section, so not hard. Again, if you want to filter it, if you want to go 3 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, whatever it happens to do, you're going to click on that filtering right up here. That's where you're going to get the options. You want to hit apply. If you've got a bunch of, if you're searching, I get this call at least once a week, so let me throw this out there. If you're searching and you're not getting any search results, guess what? Well, first of all, there's not a lot of inventory, so don't be shocked. But second of all, if you're searching and all of a sudden nothing's coming up and you know there are listings, go back and hit your reset. Most probably you set it to like 2 bedrooms and a pole barn with 900 square feet and it can't find something in that area. So remember, if you're searching, nothing's coming up, hit your reset and then go ahead and it will show your listings again. All right, some new features that we added this year. Actually would be last year, but with COVID, it's all running together. All right, so if you click into that top field button, if you have saved a search, like you saw me save the Kim Hatchu search, you see it in my saved searches. If you've recently viewed a property, it's going to be in your recently viewed. If you have a search set up in the MLS, this is my favorite. So let's say you set up a Ron and Debbie search in the MLS. You now have them in your car. And they're saying, you know what, Colleen, anything new come up today? I can go into my MLS searches and I can literally see everything that I've saved in the MLS. And why? Because remember, this is your mobile MLS. So if I click on my Ron and Debbie search, guess what happens? Brings up all the listings for Ron and Debbie from my MLS search. So it's fully integrated. I want you to think of HomeSnap as your mobile MLS. I want you to think of the things I can do in Paragon, I can do here, and most of them you can. All right, so that is pretty much searching. Oh, one more thing. Let's say, and this is something I have not found that I can do in any other app. I know we talked about today, there's so many apps out here. Why should I add another one? This is one that you can't even do in the MLS, and let me tell you why. So in the MLS, you could search by school district because guess what? School district is a required field, at least it is for my MLS. But what happens nowadays is agents, because things are selling so fast, I kind of want to explain this. Things are selling so fast right now that unfortunately, agents aren't putting as much information into the MLS because they're really only adding what's required at this point. And the reason for that is because things are selling so fast, they're just putting in the basics to get it on the market, right? The problem is that when it comes to like middle schools or elementary schools, most agents aren't adding that because it's not required. At least in my MLS, they're not adding it. So the problem is if I have a buyer and the buyer says, Colleen, my daughters have always gone to Lee Elementary School. Well, if I put in Richmond School District, that doesn't keep them in Lee Elementary School building. I want to actually search down to the building. So if I go, and I'm going to use Havel Elementary because that's another one over here. If I start typing in Havel Elementary School, I can see everything that is on the market and I can see the attendance zone. So right now, And this particular city right here is down 74% in inventory from last year, which is shocking because there wasn't that much last year to sell. But as you can see, there is only one listing. I'm sorry, there's 4 listings in the Havel Elementary School attendance zone. So here's Havel Elementary, because that's what I put in my search up here. It's showing me where the school is, but it's also outlining the attendance zone area. So if I have to find something where they can go to Havel Elementary, I can see the homes that are actually going to be for sale in that school attendance area. So I can see, okay, I got 4 to choose from, and here they are. Now I can go in, I can scroll through and obviously get that information right from here. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to you. The other thing that I am absolutely loving, and this was something Brian, who is amazing, he's our CIO, our information officer, he's our wizard, he builds all this cool stuff. I was saying, wouldn't it be nice to have a way to see the seller's disclosure and lead-based paint when you're showing a property? So yeah, I could print 10 of them off when I'm going to go, when I'm going to show houses, but what a pain in the neck and what a waste of paper, right? Or if they're really serious, I got to say, okay, let me go back to the office and get the disclosures. Why? Let's have them right on our phones. So if I want to see, if my client just looked at this house and they want to write an offer and we want to see what the disclosures say about the property, I want them to be right on my phone. And that's exactly what you have here. Now, the caveat is, of course, the agent has to add them to the listing. They're not in Paragon. Well, it's going to be very tough for them to be in HomeSnap. So I have to add them right from the listing. Now, if I'm ready to look at that seller's disclosure, and by the way, you can blow these up so you can actually read them. You just kind of scoot your fingers in and out to blow them up. If I don't want my buyer, because we're all social distancing, right? If I don't want them breathing right in my face, I can also hit the share button and I can actually share. I can airdrop them to them, or maybe I just want to text message them right to our buyer. I can go ahead and do that right from here. So very easy to share your disclosures right from your phone. You can also email them. I have it set up so my clients even can sign them from my phone or from my tablet. So it makes it just really easy when you're on the go. All right, so remember those confidential documents, the seller's disclosure, lead-based paint, maybe you have your COVID docs and associated docs, those can all be fed right over into your HomeSnap app. That's done automatically for you. So that is a great way to be able to see property disclosures wherever you are. All right, so we've covered pretty much the mapping. I do want to point out everybody always asks me, what's the camera mean at the top, Colleen? Well, HomeSnap actually started off as a gimmick. It was kind of a gimmicky app, and it started off almost 15 years ago, believe it or not, where a client could walk up and take a picture of the home. The HomeSnap, and I'm in my office, so I'm just going to take a picture of my window here. But what HomeSnap did is it never really had anything to do with the picture, if you will. The whole gimmick of HomeSnap was your client could take a picture of the home. It basically used the GPS coordinates of the phone, and it would send the agent those GPS coordinates to let the agent know that they were interested in that phone. So you'll still see that same thing up top. It works the exact same way. Clients can take a picture. It really has nothing to do with the picture at all. It's capturing the GPS location and it's feeding that information back to the client and or the agent. So that's kind of how it got the name HomeSnap. So that's why you see this little camera right up here. So quick recap, when you're on that home section, click into the map. A lot of people still call me and say, well, Colleen, I have a question. It's showing me a search area that I looked at, a year ago. How do I change that? Remember, just click the near me. Once you click the near me, it's going to relocate you into where you are. Again, you can draw using the draw icon. You can save your search. A client can do that as well. You can filter your search down by using the filter option right up here at the top. And again, if you go right into the search bar, you can put an address, you can put a city, you can put a school, you can put a zip code. So really easy to find things. It will also quickly show you your MLS searches and your saved searches that you've done in HomeSnap. Okay, I see the question, so let me pause real quick before we go to the next one. Okay, good, really good question. Thank you, Joey, for your questions. Um, if you are a pro member, and you're going to know that, by the way, by when you are in the app, you are going to see, and I kind of pointed it out quickly before, but at the bottom, you'll see pro. You get all of that at no cost, all of the pro features. They do have Pro Plus. If you click on a Pro Plus, and I'm going to show you what that is. I'm going to be totally honest, and here's where I'm going to take my MLS hat off for just a second. As an agent, it just seems like everything these days has an upsell. And, you know, I have bought a lot of them. I've never really found one that I've been super happy with. Pro Plus has a couple of things that you can sign up for. The Plus is an additional fee. Most things I'm not a fan of the upselling. There is, and to be honest, the Pro Plus I don't think has huge benefits, but there is some marketing in there that I'll show you. I'm not trying to sell you anything because, again, I don't do the upsell on 99% of our products. But there is one thing that I will show you at the very end, if you want, only if you want to see it, as far as what the Pro Plus is. The Pro is completely free. That's the listing disclosures, everything I'm going to cover today. At the very end, if you're interested in seeing what the Pro Plus is and how it works, I'm happy to show you. Just at the very end of the webinar, just remind me and say, hey, can you show me Pro Plus? And I can show you what that entails. I've done it on 2 listings where I've actually gotten the buyer from it, where the buyer literally contacted me and said he saw it from the Pro Plus. You know, I probably done it on maybe 8 or 9 listings. So for me, this is one of the products that I think was worth it, but it's completely your choice. I'm not going to show you anything that you have to upsell. The Pro is included. If you want the Pro Plus, that would be where you would pay that upsell. All right. Okay. Moving forward. Okay. So we talk, great questions though. So the Pro, again, completely included, nothing additional you have to purchase. But if you want the Plus, which is marketing and social media advertising, that's where the Plus is the additional fee. Okay, so let's talk about, we talked about the Homes tab. We talked about what HomeSnap is. We talked about how to filter it down a little bit. The next one that I want to talk about is the Me tab, because I think there's some really cool stuff here to see. The Me tab is how you're going to invite your clients to start using the app. And as I mentioned, I've had many clients that have left Zillow because they realize that a lot of the information in Zillow that we get, those houses closed a month ago or they closed 3 months ago, but it's a feed. And a lot of times that information doesn't get changed because of situations that I mentioned, like if you go in and you claim it or you change something in Zillow, it breaks that feed. And now we can no longer feed it or update it. So, so some interesting things there. But when you're ready to invite your clients to use the app, and you're probably thinking, well, why would I want to give my client another app? Well, the thing here is if you invite them to use your app, they use the MLS data. That means it's the live data. So if something goes pending, they can see it went pending. They're not using outdated information. The other thing about this is when they're looking at listings, they're only seeing your contact information and your phone numbers. They're not calling someone else. So that's kind of the cool thing. And you can kind of see, you can set up a public profile, you can add your photo, do all that stuff. But as I want to invite a client, I'm going to click invite. You can invite them via an email address. So right up here at the top, I could put their email address in, I could put their phone number in, I could even share a link. So I could go ahead and invite them via a link. Or I could invite my MLS contacts. So if I want to invite everybody I have set up in the Collab Center, I can do that. Or you can invite them individually. Please, please, please do not click the invite all. I just had an agent who said she invited 700 people accidentally. So don't click the invite all because most of us have other agents and people we don't want to give the app to. So either invite them via email, via phone, invite them individually through your contacts, or send them a link. Either way, they get the app from you. It's now branded to you. That allows you to see what they favorite, what they're looking at, a lot of cool things. It allows you to see what they're searching for. So a lot of cool things that they can do from there. So don't click the invite all, though. I promise you, you'll not like it. And then you'll call me and say, hey, you should have told us not to click that invite all. So once you're ready to manage your clients and contacts, you can go in, you can see things that you favorited, you can see things that your clients have favorited, you can send messages, you can see things that you've recently viewed. So you can actually manage your clients. You can remove a client if they're driving you crazy. So you can actually use that clients and contacts right from there. Okay, down below, this is another one of my favorite pieces. Another piece that you can't do really in any other app. So let's take a look at that. Under the Me tab, where we were just up here at the top. I'm going to scroll down. I can go into my office. So I can go in, I can see all the information for my office, but that allows me to see all the agents in my office. So if I'm looking for someone to hold an open house, or I'm looking to contact someone, I have the cell phone number and information, for all of the agents in my office. So if I need to contact Gina, want to find out if she's available to do an open house, I can go ahead and I can open up her information. Again, I can see a little bit about her. And I could say, yeah, I don't know, I would want her to do the open house, or yes, I would. So I'm going to go ahead and be able to pull the agent information for my office. But the cool piece that is exclusive is the My Listing section. Okay, so if I am sitting here right now and I just got a bottom line offer and I want to mark a property pending, one of my listings, I can go into edit a listing. I could change the price. I could change the status. I could put in additional remarks, or maybe I'm having an open house. If I want to move this, knock on wood, let's say my deal fell through and I want to move it from pending to active, or I want to move it from active to pending. All I'm doing is I am literally going in and making that change and hitting save. I can change agent remarks, can change the direction, just hit save at the bottom. Within just a few seconds, that's going to push that information back into the MLS. So that way they stay in sync. So if you need to edit a listing, this is a great way to do it. Do it from the palm of your hand. Click on your edit the listing button, go in, make your change, and just remember to save it. That will update it in the MLS so that everything does stay in sync. Okay? Knock on wood. I always hate when I say when it's pending and I say, if I put this house back on the market, it's like a curse. Okay, under view listing, if you go down, again, this is going to be all the information on your listing. If you want to be notified of price changes, you can do that too. Now, here's an interesting thing too. They've just now added what we call seller side analytics, meaning contact information for people. In this low inventory market, and I'm going to actually show it to you on the home side of things. In this low inventory market where we're all trying to pick up listings because there's nothing to sell, I can go to my map again, and I'm kind of bouncing around, but I just want to give you an example. If I go to all homes here, if I want to find properties that are likely to list, meaning, and now I can't give you the exact formula. I wish I could, I'm sorry to say. What they do is they take a formula and they say, okay, in this area, people are moving quite a bit. And I'm gonna kind of go to a heavily populated area over here. And we're gonna say if they've been there 4 years, most probably they closed at this time, they may have this interest rate, and these might be good candidates to reach out and find out if they're looking to make a move. So this likely to list, and you'll notice it's kind of right here. Again, I'm on the homes button at the bottom. I've clicked on all homes because there's obviously homes that are on the market for sale, homes that are just rentals, and then all homes listed here. If I click on this likely to list button, I can actually go in and I can say, okay, I want to see properties that maybe the homeowners live there more than 10 years. So they know they probably have some equity in the home. Maybe I want to see things by mortgage age, mortgage rate, ownership time, or maybe I just want to see, according to their calculations, what they think would be most likely to list. So if I click most likely to list, it's doing their formula behind the scenes, and look what it's doing. It's actually showing me parcel lines, and it's telling me that the people that they've highlighted in orange are most likely to list. So of all the candidates, when they use the formula, they're thinking that 5239 Rejoice here would be a good candidate for me to actually reach out to. And what they do is they do turnover time. Their formula was very vague. They don't really give it out, but it's kind of like an AVM. They take turnover time, how long they've lived there, and a couple other little details, and they plug it into a formula to see, would this show up as a most or least likely to list? But the reason I show you this is because we want you to go out. We want you to start getting more listings, because that's what they need to do. We need to do right now. So if I scroll down in that property, guess what? It's actually going to show you the contact information for those people. Now, I have had no less than 10 people say that it's actually eerie because they were paying for information like this, like through White Pages and other places, and they said that this was by far the most accurate. Now, don't take my word for it. Go in, look at your own house, look at your listings. That's the best way to judge if it's accurate in your area. Now, I will tell you, I was a little shocked that I had a seller who had an email address in there, and he was, kind of a religious man, and the email didn't match. And it turns out there was a funny story behind it. But yes, long story short, this email, and he's like, I can't believe you could find that. And so it seems to be very, very accurate to me. But check your area. Obviously, it's area dependent, and check your own home, check your listings. If they are on the do not call list, that will appear. It will show this is a do not call number. But when you click on it, you can actually go in, and if there's additional information, if they live out of state or things like that, a lot of times you'll actually see that right under this information. But here I have a business mobile number, a personal email, and how long they've lived there. And approximately, their equity rate. So it's kind of cool. It gives you ways to reach out and hopefully obtain some new listings. Okay, and that's under all homes. And that is likely to list right here at the bottom. And then all you do is hit apply, and you will see those orange areas on your map. Okay, so we talked about me. This is where you can go for the My Listing section. It will show your solds, your pendings, your actives. So these are all my actual properties that sold, pending, actives, all of those will be there. You can go in and you can look at them or edit them if you need to. Obviously, once it's closed, only the broker will have the editing function once it's in the closed status. All right, and then lastly is your manage MLS identities. I know that was asked about a little bit today. So if you are a member of another neighboring board and you need to add those credentials in so that you can use your email, you can actually do that right under here. All right, so let's go into agent information. If you want to find an agent, and I'm down here at the bottom under your Agents Pro. If you're looking to find an agent, then you can simply scroll down, click on the Find an Agent information. If you want to find someone in your office, or maybe I just want to find an agent. I'm going to use Judy because she's always so nice. She's always helping me. I think it was, I always spell this wrong too, and I always end up having to look it up. I think that's right. Hold on, let me find her name here. I spell it wrong every single time. You'd think I would be an expert at this name by now. We'll use Cheryl here. I don't see, oh, it's Judy down below. We'll use Cheryl. So we'll do Cheryl. Weiss, W-E-I-S-S. Okay, and if Cheryl has her profile, I'm not sure if Cheryl has her profile all set up. Did I spell that right? Oh, nope, didn't spell that right. C-H-E-R. It does help if you don't have fat fingers and you do spell the information correctly. So if I put in Cheryl Weiss's name, I think I have that correct. I should be able to pull up her information, which I am not. So Cheryl, I'm going to have to reach out and see if your app is all set up. Or why I'm not finding you in my roster. Of course, I'm not part of your board, but I should still be able to see you in here. So I do want to check on that. But if you guys could, because remember, this is brand new for you guys, please go into your agent section. I want to make sure that you can find other agents. So maybe put in an agent or two. If an agent doesn't pop up in your agent section, then please let me know. And that way I can troubleshoot that. So I think we've got everything else done, but I want to make sure that we've got all the little details there too for you. Okay. Oh, you know what? Actually, I do know that because you guys, we haven't added in all your data sharing information into HomeSnap yet. So I probably can't see you yet because you're not in the data share in HomeSnap. Now you are in Paragon, so you can see all of the listings in Paragon, but you may not be able to see other agents until the data share is complete on the HomeSnap end. So you'll have all the Clare Gladwin information in HomeSnap right now. You should have all the Clare Gladwin roster right now. And then at the end of the month, you should have all of the data shares in HomeSnap too, so that you'll be able to see everything. Okay, so we covered agents. We talked about editing your listings. We talked about making sure you're inviting your clients. So if I scroll up a little bit here, I can invite my clients, manage my clients. More gives you like your mortgage payment calculators, how to set up your profile image, all of that right there. Messaging, this is great. I use this for my home inspectors. A lot of times if I want to send the home inspector information on the property, I will literally just share the listing from HomeSnap. So remember, when you're sharing the listing from HomeSnap, it's as easy as hitting that share button, that little square with the arrow, and I can go ahead and I can share it right to my home inspector. The messages is really nice though, because I can track what time he says he's going to do the home inspector. And if you're working with a buyer, I can also track other homes that I've sent to him. So I can actually kind of keep a running history of what we've talked about. So the messages is just really nice. It's really easy ways to share communications right through the app. And it allows me to kind of communicate with someone and keep track of what's going on with that particular person or homes that I've previously sent them. So hopefully that's a pretty good look at the HomeSnap app. So again, we've got for sale, you want to use your map. You've got for rent, you've got all homes. Remember, you're just kind of squeezing your map in, squeezing your map out. If you're looking for a particular area, you're going to go up to that top, put in a city, address, school, or zip code. Remember, you can access your MLS searches or even searches that you saved here in HomeSnap. I'm going to tell you the hardest thing about this app is you have to play with it. It's one of those things, the more you use it, the better it will work for you. So it's just kind of remembering homes is where I'm searching, agent is where I'm trying to find an agent, me is where I'm either editing my listings or inviting my contacts. Okay. Inside of your GoToWebinar panel, I have attached 4 handouts. So it's probably minimized. It's that orange arrow that you probably see to the right. And those 4 handouts are, again, the step-by-step instructions for downloading the app. I know we all went through it today, but just in case you didn't have your Apple password or your Google password handy, there's step-by-step instructions. You can simply click on it and you can save it to your computer or you can actually print it out. Then the next one is inviting your clients via HomeSnap. The next one is lead generation with HomeSnap, which is a whole nother class. And then there's searching for school buildings or attendance zones. So some really helpful information attached right in your GoToWebinar panel. If you have any additional questions, now would be a really great time to type them in. If you were interested in seeing the Pro Plus and deciding if that was something, now again, I'm not big into the upsells and I'm certainly not trying to upsell it. You know, we don't receive any commission or anything like that. I've used it on a couple of my listings. I think I've used it on 8 or 9 listings now. And I have gotten 2 buyers who have told me that they came directly from it. You know, is it for everybody? No, probably not, but I am not a big fan of the upsell on most of these products. So it's up to you whether you would like to see it. If not, if you have a question, now's the time to type it in so we can go ahead and get it addressed. So, Carrie, you know what? I'll reach out to you to see if you're logging in under that other MLS, you need to log in to your app under the other MLS first, and then go into where it said the MLS profiles. So if you click on the Me, which you should be able to see on your screen, then you go to Manage MLS, and then click the plus. Should allow you to pick the other MLS, and you should be able to use that same email address. But if not, I will reach out to you directly afterward, and then we could we'll try to troubleshoot that and get that set up. And we may have to even involve HomeSnap. So I will reach out to you directly after. I did add it. Okay. Ruth would like to know if she delete or read. If she had the HomeSnap app before. Okay, a couple questions about that. So the question is, if they had the HomeSnap app before, does she need to delete and download it? There's two parts to your question. So when you say, did you have the app before? Did you have the public app possibly? If you have the public app, then you do have to go in and make a change. And I've actually, I can walk you through that. It's basically you have to go into your settings and you have to say, I'm a real estate agent instead of the public. If you had the app and it says Pro, you do not have to download, you don't have to delete it and re-download it. Again, if you're a member of another MLS, you can actually add that other MLS in. And that will allow you to toggle between them because sometimes MLSs don't share, and there's, you know, a whole world of school behind that. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Carrie. I will reach out to you directly afterward. Okay, so I think that is all that I have for you. Again, we are recording this class, so if you missed something, I know we do it at a pretty good clip to try to get it all in before 2:30. If you've missed something or you wanted to watch this class again, it will be available. I'll probably upload it tonight, so it will be available as early as tomorrow at our YouTube channel. So what I'm going to do is I will just show you that. If you go to YouTube and you go to My Real Source Media, so I'm just going to move all this out of your way here. You can see I've got a lot of screens open. Let me just close a few of these and then I can show you exactly what it looks like. If you go to My Real Source Media, what I did is I set up some playlists so that you can go right to the Clare Gladwin playlist, and you can see all the classes. So whether it is, maybe you're looking for a class on Collab Center, maybe you're looking for a class on HomeSnap, just go to YouTube and type in My Real Source Media right in the search bar. I'll show you exactly what it looks like so you know exactly where to go. So I'm going to go to My Real Source Media is where you want to go. It'll start auto playing a video. But if you go over to where it says playlists, right on the left-hand side, should be on the left-hand side for you, you can actually find the Clare Gladwin playlist. I'm going to click up here. And it will show you, so if I click the Clare Gladwin playlist, let me get off my phone and onto here. There you go. I can actually go through all of the videos that are there and I can see whatever one I want. So if there's a particular one you want, you just click on it and you're going to be able to watch that one. So maybe you want to know how to input a listing. Maybe you have some questions on Collab Center. Just find that particular topic and you can watch the recorded video. It'll walk you through step by step. And the nice thing is you can fast forward right to the parts that you need. All right. I'm not, oh, it looks like one person did. Okay. I will go back to sharing one last thing then. So I had one person ask me about the plus. Really, that concludes our HomeSnap class for today. If you are interested in what the plus looks like, you are welcome to stick around and I will show you that. Plus, again, is more the advertising of how you want to advertise your listings. And, you know, I'm not a big upsell, and I'm not trying to upsell you here. If you just want to see what the Pro Plus is, it's a way to place advertising on a listing. Bring this up a little bit bigger here. Let's see, let's do full screen. It's a way to actually advertise your listing in a way that you can decide who you want to see and where you want to see it. So I'm going to actually just show you right on my phone here. I'm going to show you a couple that I did. And again, if you decide it's cool for you, I can't even give you pricing or anything like that. I can just tell you, for me, it was being able to get people into an area that had some difficulty. And so what I mean by that is if you go to your listing, and this particular listing was surrounded by orange barrels. I could not get anyone in the subdivision because they were just sitting outside in these orange barrels. And it was a really cute house. And so someone said, hey, you should try to use the plus because it uses Waze. And when they're sitting in traffic trying to find a way out of those orange barrels, that house will automatically pop up with the details. So I thought that was kind of a good idea. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to try it. So I did. I added it to this West Point listing right here. And what I liked about it was you actually got to promote your listing on Waze, on Google Plus, and a couple of other programs. Maybe I might not be able to show you. It's kind of so old now. Oh yeah, here it is. So I could actually use Waze, Instagram, Facebook, and Google. The one I chose to do because of the orange barrels was the Waze. So what it did is every day it ran a campaign and it sent a copy of the campaign that it ran to the homeowner. So every day the homeowner got a copy of what it looked like and how many eyeballs came in and how many people actually navigated to the property from the Waze app. So in this case, they had 30,144 views that came in on Waze, meaning because they were sitting there in the orange barrels looking for ways to get out, right? 116 people clicked on the little pin. And if you've ever seen the Waze, how it looks is it's like a little pin. I'll show you what it looks like. When you're using it for driving directions, it pops up these little pins. And so it shows the homeowner what the little pin looks like, and they get a copy of that ad every day and what it looks like and how many eyeballs came in. So for me, this homeowner was like, why can't we get more traffic in here? Why can't we? Well, the orange barrels were a huge problem. The person who actually came in and ended up rating the offer told me that they actually saw it on Waze. So that made me curious because I thought, well, I know directly that worked. So then I wanted to try it on another listing. But the nice thing is you can actually go in and you can decide where you want to advertise it, how much you want to put into your advertising, and obviously how many views and clicks and navigations all go to the homeowner every day. So I really liked that. I'm not trying to upsell you anything. If you do it, that's great. If you don't do it, that's great too. I just had a couple listings that I was really struggling with, and I found like this lambs listing was another one. This was way out in the country, had a hard time getting people out that far. It's not close to any freeways, anything like that. So I also added it on here. Same thing, showed me how many eyeballs are coming in, showed my seller every day how many eyeballs were coming in. As you can see, a lot less eyeballs coming in here, but it did give that seller some comfort that every day it was getting new traffic through. And it shows that seller again every morning what that ad looks like, and that was helpful for me as well. It'll also show you again if somebody navigated to it, if you got a lead from it. Couple houses that I did use it on. Okay, well, that's all I have for you. Let's see if there's any additional questions. Yes, Rebecca, I will absolutely give you a call. I have one more class to teach today, so and I have one call in between this class and that class, and so I will definitely reach out to Carrie, Judy, and Rebecca afterward, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. All right, so thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Appreciate your patience. I apologize if you were on the class previously that it was not correctly turned on the HomeSnap side. I do apologize, but hopefully this class will help you navigate your new mobile MLS app. And I will look forward to talking to those 3 people after the class, and I hope you have a great Easter. Thanks, everybody.